Hey, what's happening out there? This is Halftime Prep Talk. We're here at Boyd County Middle School, where the Lions are just wrapping up practice on a snow day. HTPT is brought to you by Fannin Automotive Family, which is right next door. We're here with Zach Clemming, Matthew Sparks, I'm Aaron Snyder. Coach Randy Anderson is going to join us here in just a little bit. We might talk to a player or two as well. First, guys, a couple scores that stood out from Tuesday night. Greenup County beat Mason County, 85-77, a really nice win for Greenup County. Of course, Boyd County beat Lewis, which is a 15-point win. It ended Lewis County's 6-game winning streak. And then Morgan County, Elliott County, which they've played how many times now in the last 2 seasons?
124, something like that.
Seems like every week they play.
So, hey, though, when they provide the kind of drama they usually do, why not play every week?
Right.
It's kind of interesting for us.
And the Cougars won by 17 points, 65-48. I thought that was kind of a glaring score in the All-A semifinals. And with the snow and everything, you will see this Friday. We have no idea if the game was played last night or not, the finals that is for the All-A Classic, so we're not going to even comment on that. But let's comment on Morgan County and Elliott County. Is that serious concern for Elliott County, or is it more just a really good win for Morgan?
That's a good win for Morgan. And we saw they played 5 times last year. One of those was a beatdown, something like 60-38 that Morgan put on Elliott. Then Elliott turns around, they win the next seed game, and then Morgan gets Elliott in the district, and Elliott gets Morgan back in the region finals. When a team plays, when they play as many times as they played last year and are probably destined to play again this year, you're going to have kind of anomalies like that. It's a very good win for Morgan County, no question. And if they're able to get through the All-A final and then get to Frankfort, that'd be great for them as well. But Elliott would have loved to go to Frankfort again, but they're worried about that big one at the end of the year, and so they're a little disappointed now, but they'll get over it and they'll be fine and kind of use it as a tool to move forward.
All right, now that you've talked, you made some good sense there. I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment and say the defending region champion is in serious trouble. I'm not going to say that now. I was going to. You changed my mind.
Yikes.
I wouldn't call it a huge concern for Elliott County. They have a lot of experience. I think they've been there before,
right.
win the state tournament before. I think when you play a team like many times, like Zach said, you're going to have a bad game. I think Morgan County is still on their minds about that game in the regional final last year, and I think that they stepped their game up and they see the Elliott County jersey. So now it's Elliott County's turn because I think they play next week in Sandy Hook.
Yeah. They play once a week.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot about the 62nd district, but Morgan loses to East and they lose to West in the first couple of weeks of the year, and now they have 2 wins over Elliott already because they won one of the first 2 seed games. So that just really the whole region, but specifically that 62nd district, literally any 2 of those teams could come out of it and go to the region, and any 2 of them could don't be surprised if it's West and East. They come out of the district to go to the region. It could be any of those 2.
That district's so loaded that maybe one of the best teams in the region might not be going to the regional tournament.
Yeah, or 2.
Or 2,
possibly.
All right, let's go to balls in their court. Let's look back at the past few days between the time we were at Lewis County last week to the time today, and who's been the best performer in your eyes, Matt?
Well, I'm going to stay in West Liberty. There's a certain guy that can score the basketball there, as we all know, Jordan Perry. Tallied his 3,000th point last Saturday against Bath County. Puts him really a very distinct company. Only 31 players in the history of basketball in Kentucky have scored 3,000. So now you could put his name with the Harrisons and the Fergusons and the Van Hoots. That's pretty special. So anybody that scores 3,000 points deserves a game ball.
Right. That makes sense, Matt. We're making a whole lot of sense today. I'm going to go with Hayden Rowe from West Carter. Man, he's been on a roll. Rowe's been on a roll. 30 points and 15 rebounds against Boyd County last week. And then he had 20 points and 8 rebounds in the All-A semifinals against Raceland on Monday. So Hayden Rowe is really playing big for West Carter. In the absence of Ben Jordan there, he was playing even bigger because he had to fulfill a little bit of an enhanced role in the middle. The 6'4" forward, though, is I think really pushing the Comets even higher now to their potential. I mean, because I think they really have a high ceiling. And I think Hayden Rowe is key for that.
All right. We'll go with the Raceland Lady Rams for 2nd week in a row. Matt went there last week.
Nice.
Lauren Runyon is a guard, but she had 18 rebounds on Monday night in the All-A semifinals, region semifinals. A couple nights before that, on Saturday night in the first round against Fairview, she had 14, I believe it was, averaging 16 rebounds in the first 2 games. And her coach called her, Ron Keaton called her the best rebounding guard in the region. And there's some pretty good guards in the region, one of them named Mikasa Robinson. So whether or not we would go that far, I do not know. But she has Lauren Runyon really cleans the glass well for them. And Raceland is a team that when they are struggling to put the ball in the hole, they give themselves some extra opportunities. Crystal Keaton obviously is an adept rebounder, and Ashton Sips. They have some size and they have some toughness, and they are able to give themselves extra opportunities. And Lauren Runyon kind of personifies that for them.
All right, toss that ball to the side. We're going a 3-point shot. We don't know if these games will be played.
That was a great chest pass, by the way. That's fundamental right there.
Once again, with the weather being a concern, we have no idea if these games will even be played. But we have a rivalry here in this area. It's called Ashland-Boyd County, and we're going to get to that.
Really?
But first,
If you haven't heard of it.
But first, let's go to the 63rd District. Lewis County and Raceland match up again, and that was a blowout the first time. The Lions won by 26 points the first time, Zach. So do you think Raceland can get a little bit of redemption?
Well, they've got a couple decent performances in their last couple of games as of this tape. They went to Fairview and won. Obviously, it's always a high pressure, high energy, intense rivalry, able to go there and get it done. And they lost to West Carter in the next round, but West is playing as well as anybody, or they had at least as good of a start as anybody in the region to begin with. So that's not a bad loss for Raceland. They've begun to pick it up a little bit. So all that to say, Raceland is capable of playing with Lewis County. Can they counter Lewis's size inside? And again, like we talked about last week, depends on Lewis's guard play. I think their guard play, maybe not to call anybody out, Lewis's guard play over the last few days, maybe up until the Boyd County loss, has been very improved and maybe a little bit better. So it depends on if Raceland is able to get penetration. Carson Christian was big for them against Fairview if they're able to get to the hole. Otherwise, if you're standing outside shooting jump shots, a lot of teams are going to struggle, not just Raceland, but really anybody. So it depends, I think, a lot on is Raceland going to be able to get into the lane against Lewis County.
Now you look up and down that Lewis County roster, you see a lot of 12s. There's a lot of senior leadership for the Lions. That's keeping them.
What did you talk about with the Rams? This is a huge confidence-building game, I think, for them. Considering they got to be 26 points 2 weeks ago in Vanceburg, and their district record is not that great right now. So I think they really are looking for a confidence-building win, maybe to head into February. Noah Braden has really stepped up his scoring. We talk about racing the girls having trouble scoring, racing boys also having a little trouble on offense. But Noah Braden has really stepped up his game offensively and really complimented Tyler Morris in that regard. So I expect a little closer game this time in racing.
I agree.
All right, let's go to that rivalry, Ashland-Boyd County. Let's go with the girls first. They play on Saturday. They're supposed to play on Saturday,
right.
That is. Ashland, a team that didn't have too high of expectations going into the season despite their recent success because of all that they lost. But with Mikasa Robinson playing as well as she is right now, you can never count them out of any game. And I look forward to that Mikasa Robinson-Savannah Wheeler matchup.
Both of them very high scoring, or have the potential to be certainly. And I got to see Boyd County play St. Joe, Huntington St. Joe here a couple of weeks ago. St. Joe and their coach talked about she is their key wheeler. Their key wheeler makes them go, if you will. And she kind of you chase her and you take her out of their offense. Then Boyd can struggle to score. So that will be what Ashland's focus is to try to shut down Wheeler, and that's obviously easier said than done. But if they're able to do that, and Mikasa has a typical Mikasa night, then they've got a shot for sure.
Yeah, and anytime Boyd gets rolling on the perimeter too, they're a dangerous team.
Well, one of the keys to that perimeter game, though, was Wheeler. Her driving to the basket, she's very aggressive. She shot 155 free throws already this year, and her driving to the basket could set up those three-point shooters on the outside, so that's really tough. The kids really had a huge setback here a few weeks ago with Chloe Coons going down with the ACL, a senior leader for that team. After Mikasa now, they really don't have a whole lot of experience, but you see them growing up here a little bit. That schedule that the kittens play always will when you grow up in a hurry. I expect maybe a closer game here too, but I think the late lines pull that game.
I'm with you guys. I think the
More complete team.
All right, how about the guys here right behind us? It's going to be right here. It's going to be a packed house and a great atmosphere. Whenever this game is played, it's going to be an intense one because Ashland is much improved since that first meet. The 15-point loss for the Tomcats in the first one, that was back in early December, though. Much different team now, and so is Boyd County.
No question. I think Ashland has really put a lot of stock in the fact of, okay, we're going to get another shot at these guys toward the end of January. They've been waiting on this game, and that they also are looking at it as far as you want to try to avoid whoever the 3 seed is in that district, and it's an easier road if you're the 4 seed or the 1 seed rather, playing the 4 seed, especially it being at Ashland. They're excited about the chance. They talk about wanting to cut down the nets in their own den. They talked about they thought they had a chance to do that twice, and it didn't work out for them in the AIT, but they may have a shot in the 64 district. A big part of that is kind of you can set things up a little bit differently. You have an easier game in the first round of the district. All of that means that you need to win this game, and then you hope for some help elsewhere, because if they win and Boyd wins out after that, then it's a tie at the top of the district if seeding holds, and depending on what Fairview and Rose Hill do as well. So Ashland is putting a lot of importance on this game, and Boyd will need to match their intensity.
Boyd County with a 5-game winning streak in the series.
Boyd County kind of really hit their stride right now. They won 7 of their last 8 games after kind of a slow start against a tough schedule. Of course, we all talked about the Boyd County second half surge here, playing so well in the second half. If you're
that's why we're here for the second half of practice.
The second half of practice, the kids are going to, our interviews are going to be in the second half of the show, so you stay tuned for that. I mean, it should be exciting. But, if you're 5 minutes late to one of these Boyd County games, you're not going to miss much, because all the atmosphere and excitement is going to be in the second half. Bobby Anderson is the key for this team, of course. I mean, he really steps up in the crunch time. So Ashland is going to have to weather the storm, or the pun, the snow, this defensive habit that Boyd County likes to create. And I think that Boyd County will probably pull out a double-digit win again.
All right, let's talk to the guys here. All right, here with Bobby Anderson here at midcourt. Just finished up practice. How did practice go?
It went pretty good.
Good?
A lot of energy.
All right. And I hear Bob all the time, but we write Bobby, and I call you Bobby. So is it Bobby or Bob?
Just whatever you want to call me.
All right.
With either.
All right, either one. You have a nickname?
No, Dad calls me Bean. I don't know where that came from. But
Oh, you don't know where it came from?
He just started calling me that one day.
Do you like to eat beans?
No, I don't like beans. I don't know.
Bobby, you've had some incredible performances of late. 35 points against West Carter, 28 points against Lewis County the other night. It was a really nice win over Lewis County. What did that do for your team, to beat a team that was on a roll like that? They had won 6 in a row.
Yeah, it was very important. We've been playing a lot better here lately, and now just keep building confidence.
Now, I've heard that you had a fast break against Lewis County. We covered the game, but I wasn't personally there. And the guys were wanting you to dunk. Can you dunk at 5'11"?
Yeah, I can on a good day.
On a good day?
Yeah.
What about that vertical? What have you been doing to increase that vertical leap? What kind of workouts?
A lot of box jumps and squats, deadlifts.
And you told me the other day you've really been working on your three-point shot, and that seems to be coming around. You said the other night that's more of a repetition type thing. So is that something that you just get in the gym and just shoot at, three-pointer after three-pointer after three-pointer? Is that the best way to work on your shot?
That, and I usually like to have Dad out here, and he helps me if I'm doing something wrong with my shot. He corrects me, and then I'll just go from there.
That's what I was going to ask you about, the father-son relationship. Obviously, he's your coach. What's it like at home? Do you guys talk about basketball all the time, or what kind of conversation you have?
When I was a freshman coming to the high school, we made an agreement that we wouldn't talk about basketball at home unless I asked first and I wanted to. And so if I don't ask or ask him to talk about anything, we'll usually just leave it for the gym.
But basketball is obviously a big part of your life. I know you want to play at the next level. What are some hobbies outside of basketball?
Video games, pretty much.
You got a favorite?
Not really. Maybe.
I figure it might be like an
maybe
NBA
Call
game
of Duty
or something.
or 2K16. Yeah.
Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Too? All right, Bobby, we're going to let you go and bring in Tanner Evans. All right, Boyd County junior Tanner Evans, who is known as a defensive specialist. And you could score a little bit too, I know, but tell me about, your primary emphasis of being the main defender on this team. How important is that to you?
Coach always just tells me if I'm getting my stops, we're going to get a big lead. So I always just try to get stops and talk a lot on defense.
It seems like you bring a lot of energy out there, and even when the game, progresses into the fourth quarter. Still a lot of energy, not just from you, but just the whole team. It speaks well to the conditioning, and I'm sure between soccer and basketball, conditioning is a big part of what you do.
Yeah, well, soccer and basketball is actually a lot big difference on conditioning. I came back after soccer and I couldn't do suicides. I was dead. It was hard.
Yeah.
So,
being such a defensive guy, defensive-oriented guy, who's one of the toughest players that you've guarded this year? One or two of the toughest?
probably Christian Villers and Larry right now. So,
Larry Whalen?
yeah,
at
from
Brown.
Brown.
Christian Villers is a guy that you guys will be playing against on Friday night. As long as the snow holds
Yeah.
off, we'll see how that goes. But how much are you guys looking forward to playing Ashland again and maybe keeping this win streak going?
Yeah, we're just excited to play another team. We just want to keep the win streak going. Ashland's a big rival, so we want to get that big win.
It's a snow day. You guys are done with practice. You got plenty of the day left. What are you going to do?
I'll probably just get home and play video games. Hang out.
I asked Bobby this too. What's your favorite play?
Mine's FIFA 16.
Oh, really?
Yep, I'm
All
a
right.
soccer guy.
All right. Brazil. You got a favorite team?
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yep.
All right. All right. Tanner Evans. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Randy Anderson from Boyd County here. Thanks for letting us come down.
You're welcome.
You guys just wrapped up practice. You pretty pleased with practice today?
Yeah, I have been. Last month's been really good. I think we've been focused, and kids are really responding. And it's just amazing. Wins are good medicine. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we were close early, played a really tough schedule, and sometimes it's just hard to get kids to buy into it. But we had a really good summer. They experienced a lot of winning this summer, so they know what that feeling is. It's just a matter of, you know what I'm saying, when the bright lights are on for them to get that confidence back. And so it's good. Practice has been really good.
Other good practices are translating into wins on the court. And like you said, the confidence is there. It seems like you can see it with this team right now, a 6-game winning streak. So you guys are playing well, and you ended a Lewis County streak. They were on a roll. They had won 6 in a row. So I asked Bobby about this too. How important was that win for you?
It was really good. You know, I think a lot of times we're in this profession, it gets to be a me thing, and I just give a shout out to Joe Hampton. I mean, we just knew going in. I mean, he's no matter what he has every year, he gets the most out of it. And I'd been down there to watch him play twice against Raceland and Greenup. I think he's got a really nice ball club, and he does a really good job. And so we knew going in, they believe in what they do. They have a great system. They've got a great fan base, and that band is second to none in our region. And we just knew it was going to be a really tough atmosphere. And so for us to go in there and not get jumped on early, to kind of have some attack to ourselves there early was very, very important. And once again, you know how this is. You don't want to peak right now, but just the steps that it's going to take for us to be a contender later on. I felt like we made great strides against what could be a regional opponent last night.
Sure. And Boyd County, is no secret, has been a second-half team. So that means only one thing. There has to be some magic in that halftime speech.
Old-time gospel wire is what we call it most of the time. But once again, I wish I could put a finger on teenage boys, because if so, I'd write a book and make $1 million, and we probably wouldn't be sitting here. But every team's different, and just as the course of the year goes, you got to try to find out what their button is. And our whole thing now is we feel like we've been playing 16 minutes, you know, extremely hard and very aggressive. And can we get that to 24, and by the end get it to 30, 32?
These juniors have really played well for you, played above their age at times. They've played like seniors at times, it seems like. Bobby's the only senior on the team, but this junior class has been really important for this team, hasn't it?
It has, you know, and you get to looking at like when Bob was in middle school, and then Tanner and them followed, and then the next one coming. We've been blessed with really good middle school coaches that has taught the fundamentals and taught the team part of it, and have experienced a lot of success. So that's why even though we were 2-8 to start out with, playing a really tough schedule and a lot of them close, just really knew winning is a skill as well, and just feel like that this bunch knows how to win. They've always had that toughness to go and win, especially come tournament time. And so, anyway, that getting back to your question, this junior class has an awful lot of game toughness.
You mentioned coaches, a little different look on the sidelines this year. Jody Burgess is not there, Rick Griffith isn't there. So tell me about some of the assistants you do have now, and how that transition's worked for you.
We're just really blessed. I mean, you know, Jody's been around 40-some years, and he's just got a good heart, and and played his role well here. And Coach Griffith, I mean, you ain't gonna find a better man, and wished him the best, and still want to be friends for life. But the guys we got in here now, just all of them have a part, and they do it really good. Chandler Thompson's going to be a really, really good head coach one of these days, and we just kind of gave him the offense, and he's really good with the X and O part of that on the offensive side of it, and studies the game. Joe Gilbert has taken our freshmen, and they've been very, very successful. And once again, understanding it's about the fundamentals and the toughness part of it at that level. Drew Jones has been in our middle school, another young guy that really likes the game, has a lot of energy and excitement, and brings it every day to practice. And then you got Bobby Sparks, who's kind of the anchor of all of us. You know, if we kind of float outside the boundaries, he's always that steady mind. And so I'm really blessed. I'm around really, really good men, good godly men. So I feel like our staff is really concrete.
Ashland is supposed to be here Friday night. We'll see how the weather plays out and how that is a factor. But that game will eventually be played no matter what. So tell me what you see from Ashland. Is it a much different team than what you saw in December, that you guys beat in December?
Well, they're playing with a whole different air about them, you know, and I give that credit to Coach Houghton and his staff, and I feel like that they have a target, and they're headed toward that target defensively. I feel like they continue to get better. Started out early, you know, Villers was kind of the key to whatever they did, but as you start watching here the last 7 or 8 games, their box scores and that kind of stuff, they have a lot of inexperience as well, and you can't practice that in the summer. You have to play it in the winter, and I feel like that as a team, you know what I'm saying, that they're just getting more and more solid as the season progresses.
And it seems like you guys are getting better as the season goes on too. It seems like a lot of teams in the region are getting better. Rowan's on a streak. Lewis County was on a streak. Morgan County is hot right now. The region tournament could be a fun one.
I mean, it could. I mean, you didn't mention West Carter, man. They've got a really nice ball club. Elliott, you know, they're solid, and so Lewis. I mean, you just name it. I think we got 8 or 9. Raceland, they've showed a lot of, you know, offensive spark at times. Coach Strader's doing a good job at Russell. Them young kids are getting better, and so I think overall the 16th region is becoming, like you said, solid.
Yeah. And you look at the area as a whole, and Lawrence County is a really good team. And of course you're familiar with them. You coached there before you came here, so they're 16-3 right now, and the Bulldogs are rolling.
They're 16-3, and then you look at Johnson Central, which, you know, they started out slow, but they have really picked up steam, and Shelby Valley has always got a way come tournament time, and so the 15th is going to be, you know, I think it's going to come down to 3 or 4 teams there at the end as well. But Lawrence is just, they're all 5 of their holes are really solid.
Yeah. Going off the court for a minute with Coach Anderson, what are you a Netflix guy, or do you have a favorite TV show? Or
I'm what they call technology dumb, and so if my son or my wife is at the house, then we can do that kind of Netflix stuff and that kind of stuff. But if not, it's just basic ESPN, and I'm glad I've got about 7 or 8 basketball channels I can flip to, and every now and then I'll suffice the wife and we'll watch Idol or something like that, and she's big into the that Chip and Joanna, whatever that fixer-upper thing is.
Oh, okay.
So that's basically how my home time is spent.
There you go. All right, Coach, well, thanks for joining us once again, and good luck the rest of the year.
Well, thank you. Appreciate you guys coming in. It's
Absolutely.
good for our program, for our kids, and you guys do a great job.
Thanks a lot. Hey, before we move on to 2 for the Road, Matt, I want to mention something. Mercer County's boys ranked number 1 in the state in basketball, and Josh Cook is their coach. He coached Lawrence County just a couple years ago, so area connection.
All right, very nice.
Elizabethtown girls are on a roll. They're number 1 in the AP poll, which you can see every Tuesday in the Daily Independent.
All right.
So keep an eye on that. 2 for the Road.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, that's what it
Okay.
means. You're
My
right.
first?
Yeah.
I'll tell
I
you,
can't even talk right now.
I was watching the other night Warriors and Cavaliers.
Oh boy, you're going NBA too?
I went NBA. It was basketball season.
I'm
You
going
got
NBA too. I hope it's the same item again. That was fun. That down at West Carter.
All right, right. I'm talking about Steph Curry. You talking about Steph Curry?
Maybe.
Oh. Well, if you haven't watched this guy play, you really need to. I think you kind of harken back to memories. He's like the modern day Pete Maravich. I don't know if anybody ever seen Pete Maravich. He also was a
You've been around a while, haven't you?
Yeah. He's an undersized guard. Of course, had the gold uniform. Kind of reminds you of this. Just a wizard with a basketball. Pete Maravich scored 3,667 points in 3 seasons. Of course, back then in the late '60s, that you couldn't play on a varsity team when you were a freshman.
And there was no three-point shot.
Yeah. I was going to say that. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right.
And averaged 44 points a game. I mean, just amazing with no three-point shot. And you see the same kind of game in Steph Curry, just innovative with the way that he could find his offense, whether the three-point shot or driving the basket. I saw a stat today, from 20 to 28 feet out and beyond, he's shooting 71%.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Wow.
So, I mean, just the people that are watching now, the kids that are watching today can someday say to hit their kids that they saw watch Steph Curry play. I mean, I think he's that going down in the history of basketball.
Well, that's a perfect transition to what I was going to say. So it actually blends well.
Right.
Seamless transition coming up right here.
Seamless,
Steph Curry.
I don't know about seamless, but go ahead.
No, you just screwed it up. Steph Curry is one of the top 4 best-selling jerseys in the NBA.
Yeah.
Can you name the other 3?
No.
LeBron James, easy.
Yeah, LeBron James. Kobe.
Kobe, of course. Now, who's the 4th? That's the trivia question.
Still Larry Bird?
Larry Bird.
Oh.
It's got to be a current player.
Oh, current player.
Yeah. I know, you probably purchased a Larry Bird jersey recently.
Oh, yeah, I got about 3 of them.
A throwback?
Yeah, I got 3 of them.
All right. Who's number 4?
I'll go ahead and say it.
Well, I got to enunciate well here.
Okay, go ahead.
Kristaps Porzingis,
Oh.
New York Knicks,
The big 7-footer
blossoming
guy.
star.
Big 7-footer.
Big 7-foot. All right.
Well, it's amazing, too, that he was booed at the draft.
He was.
New York fans did not want him at all.
He was.
And now the New York love him.
And now he's in the top 4 best-selling jerseys
Wow.
in the NBA. All right. Thanks to Randy Anderson and Boyd County for allowing us to invade their territory for a little while. Once again, HTPT is brought to you by Fannin Automotive Family. From Zach Clemmy, Matt Sparks, I'm Aaron Snyder. See you next time.